Morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. Yeah. Let me flick back over here. I was working on something. Hey, I tried to text you, but my phone was on car mode, so when I backed up, it stopped my text. Today at 3:30, I've got a listing appointment. It's an
Okay.
exclusive listing. It's in 34119 Pembroke Lakes, and
Okay. Yeah.
to see if you wanted to go.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So I don't know if he'll list right away. He was kind of grumbly, but we'll take a step at it and see what he has to do. I don't know what the other agent said to him, but something along the lines of, you need to clean your house every time, put everything away, before each showing. And I'm like, the way we live, the way we photograph, and the way we show are three different ways. So I don't know how horrible it is the way he lives. I can't imagine
Okay.
it. Photos didn't do it any justice. Let me find the guy. And here's my notes. I'll send you his stuff. Can't. He called me. I'm pretty sure he should be in sync. That would be really smart if he was. When they come in as an expired sometimes, and we've sent them stuff, it's not always the smoothest when it comes to that. Yeah, here it is. No, the probate. I'll come back to you with his name. Got to find him again in my notes. But we have a 3:30 appointment with him. Let's see, I probably have
Do
it.
you want me to come in to the office before?
No, I can meet you. Somewhere up there. I'm supposed to go to 3 o'clock with a video conference, but I'll probably take part of it in the car. Let me see, where is he? Rick Ludwig is his name, and the address is 8546 Silk Oak Lane. And let me see what we got. Yeah, here he is. I did get him in there. I am going to add you as the listing agent, just so you have access to it.
Okay. Hold on.
Buyer's agent, doesn't really matter where I add you. But there you go. So now you have access to the record. Of course, my notes are not in here because I was probably doing something when I spoke with him. Take a look at let me make sure the address is in here. That would be really smart if it was.
Did he respond to one of our expires that we
Yeah,
sent
he
out?
did.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
we sent him an expired campaign. He responded to it. We left him a voicemail, so I'm not sure if that's the case. If someone did, it would have been Cole. I haven't talked with Cole yet, but because I didn't call him, and he said that was the reason he was calling me back. It was on Friday, and he called me directly, which is interesting. But he's basically said that he wasn't relist, but he did say he wanted to relist because he wants to move into Volusia County. And
You want to go to Volusia County?
Yeah, I don't know where Volusia County is. Do you?
Is that up by Gainesville?
I don't know. I was kind of, when he told me that, I was like, interesting. Oh, I think I printed him. Here's where I did my notes. So smart. It's a villa in Pebblebrook Lakes. Might as well just you and I talk because nobody else is on. The agent didn't do aerials. They didn't do video. They didn't do a 3D walkthrough. And the photos were like,
oh my God.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at it, it's kind of crazy. It's listed at 299.9. The other stuff was listed lower. Like one sold for like 240 something, the other one sold in 250. But I don't know, when I looked at it, it wasn't, I mean, it may be a little high, but it sounded like they should pick the price. I'm not really sure. So something triggered him that I think we sent him, and I have to go back and look to see our drip campaign is, he got us confused with somebody else and just reached out to us. I'm not sure. But he's thinking about renting it. And I said, well, are you wanting to put a seasonal or an annual? And he said, maybe a seasonal. And I said, oh, that's interesting. Because that's not really a seasonal quote place. Plus,
no, it's not. Yeah.
New laws. Well, the confusing laws in Naples and the county, I don't even know if he'd be able to do it seasonally. Plus, you know, we don't know what his HOA would say. I don't think he has much of an HOA. Well, $654 quarterly, so they're doing something. Cable.
Yeah, it's kind of like they just have like a little clubhouse and a pool and basketball courts and stuff, but they don't have like activities directors or anything like that.
And they don't do the lawn, right?
I don't believe so. Yeah.
Everybody does their own?
No.
Yeah. So they may still have rules, which I don't know. The other agent didn't really put a lot of details on. So my thought is, you know, we can see, you know, it's a first step. So I don't know if he'll list. We'll bring some just in case, but, and then you can service them, because if not, or you can continue to drip on. It's right in our 34119.
Yeah.
You know, right
it's
now.
Right on the corner of Moxley Road and Kyer Boulevard. Basically.
It's at a Moxley Collier. Where is it?
Pebblebrook.
Which side? Yeah.
Yeah. The guest entrance is off of Mockley Road. You know where that Publix is? Like right there on the corner?
Yeah.
Familiar with that? It's like right there. Sorry, it's gonna get.
Oh, it's behind there? Like it backs up to Indigo Lakes?
Yeah, like you have Indigo on Kyer Boulevard side, and then you have like the Publix shopping plaza, and then if you turn the corner on a Mockley Road, you have Publix. So it's all interconnected in the back. And actually, The kids have like pathways and stuff back there to get to all the schools and stuff.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it's almost 2,000 square feet. He said the thing that most people complained about was it backs up to the neighbors. And I said, well, can you put a shrub or a fence? And he goes, well, my neighbor has so probably. Really? Okay, so if everybody complained about it, how much does it cost to put in shrubs? Like cheap, like small ones that will grow. So anyway, that's kind of the story of where it is. I mean, it's cute. I don't know that it's $40,000 or $50,000 better than the other ones, but
yeah.
He had it on the market for 6 months, 176 days. And he was just kind of edged out. He's like, well, I don't want to relist it. I said, well, you still want to go to Volusia County? Well, yeah. I said, well, you know, if we don't sell it.
Volusia County. What is his address again, Mary?
It's 8546 Silk Oak Lane. Hey, Ashley.
Good morning.
Good morning. What time in the world is Colorado?
6 a.m.
Oh, wow.
You go, girl. I knew you were really early there. I just didn't know exactly how early. You're like, oh dear God, am I really on this call? I can't believe. So I don't know, because you probably just, haven't really looked at much, but Michelle had an amazing review for Realtor.com.
Oh, awesome.
Oh, is that Jan?
Yes. Did you get a chance to look at it?
She called me at 10 o'clock last night, and she was like, Michelle, I don't think that the realtor.com review went through under your name. She was like all worried that because it was only under the group name or something.
Yeah, no. That she said Michelle all over it. Now we want her to also, Michelle, get a Zillow, and we also want her to get a Google.
She did get a Zillow, and she said the
Great.
Google link was not working.
Okay, well we'll fix
So
that.
I'll have to figure that out. Yeah.
Yeah. So so what I really wanted to do, and I don't know, Danielle maybe is just struggling with kids or whatever. I really wanted you to kind of go through on this call what you did and really highlight this is kind of what we do, but she was so enthused about it, Ashley, that she took the time to write this amazing review on behalf of Michelle.
It's so awesome.
Yeah. Issa commented on it already. So, I mean, literally, it was like, I don't even know how long it is because on my phone, it keeps scrolling and scrolling and scrolling. Because the things I took away from it is she wouldn't commit to us up front. And then, with Michelle's perseverance and, really all the steps Michelle took, she not only committed, but she bought and became a rating fan. So, Michelle, you want to go through what you did?
Yeah. Okay. Well, obviously when she came in, let me turn the light on. Obviously when she came in as a lead and she was still sitting up in Boston, she was focused on one home, which was that new construction build. She really wanted to see it. So I did the FaceTime, went there. I met the agent at Lennar. I got to know her and I talked her into letting me do a FaceTime, walkthrough. And the Lennar agent really thought it was cool. So she kind of helped me out too. We did it together. That really just kind of hooked her because she got to talk to me, see me. She also, we recorded it so her son could see it, so she could show her family members. And then after that call, I just kind of kept in contact with her and just kind of hyping her up about the market and, and what's going on. And so she had was supposed to be here on August 19th, and she changed her flight and moved it to August 9th because then she got so excited she wanted to get here to purchase immediately. She was a driver and very much wanted control. So she wanted to see as many homes as possible. And she had said something like 50 homes over the weekend. And wow. We ended up seeing 28. She got here on Saturday and her flight was delayed 2 hours. And as soon as she got off the flight, there was no hello, there was no nothing. It was like, I landed, how many homes are we going to see? And as soon as she pulled into town, we saw about 7 or 8 homes on Saturday. Of course, we went to the new construction home. We saw that it was still available. And then we woke up Sunday morning and we saw about 21 homes that day. She kept really good, I was amazed how well she was able to remember all the homes and she was categorizing them. I had numbered them for her. So Monday morning she woke up, she wanted to see about 3 or 4 of them again for a second time. She really liked one actually by the Pepperbrook area, by the Indigo Lakes area, which was a resale home, but she also liked the new construction. So then I started talking to her about negotiations, and then the price of the new construction home and trying to see what she really wanted to spend, what her max would be. The home was $474 and they were running their summer special for $459. So as we were driving and I'm talking to her, and at this point we had spent 2 days together, so we're really comfortable with each other. I said, yeah, what is your max? And she said $425. So I said, okay, and I let her talk for a while. And then I said, I'm going to be very honest with you. I don't think $425 is going to get us there. I'm thinking they're thinking $435. It's just, and we figured out she's a very numbers person. We figured out the percentages and everything like that. She even wanted to figure out what the national or the state home average had gone up this past year, and we did all of that. But when we got there, we looked at the home, and we had already discussed how we were going to communicate with each other to, you know, if she wanted to leave or if she wanted to move forward. Because in new construction homes, you negotiate right there at the table. So your client is there. And we just started negotiating. I told Brenda, we're going to make an offer for $425. Brenda called her manager. They came to $444, I believe it was. In her culture, she does not like the number 4, so that was not going to work. So we got them down to $439. And then she looked at me and I said, this is not what we discussed. This is over the limit of what you were comfortable with, so we can leave. And she goes, okay, let's leave. So we got up to leave, and then Brenda, of course, stopped us, and she ended up agreeing to the $439. She asked me, what do you think? And I said, you know what I think. I told you what I know that they're going to come around to, the $435. So I think me instilling that really made her feel like, okay, we're close enough to the $435. I want the home, and we made a deal.
That's
But
awesome.
I also, through the process, because she was from out of town, she wasn't a seasonal resident, so it's not like she's been down here a lot, and she was really uncomfortable with, like, how do I find a handyman? How do I find, you know, all of these services that I'm going to need, a pool guy? And I just kept reassuring her and giving her information that even throughout this process and afterwards, I'm here for you. So we're going to make sure you get everything set up, and we have. I was over there. She came down on Saturday, and she had city furniture there on Sunday, and she couldn't figure out her thermostat. And I was over there on Sunday with my old boss on the phone from Vitex trying to figure out how to program her thermostat. But, you know, I just wanted her to feel like, you know, she wasn't alone, you know. So whatever the client needed, that's just what I, you know, made sure she had. She found a home watch service. She found a pool guy, made sure she was comfortable with everything. It took a half an hour over the weekend, a couple more extra phone calls, but it made her feel comfortable to be able to purchase the home here.
Speaking, before we go down more detail with that, just so you both know, there is a service providers list that the Bartos Group has. Not sure if it's in, I come to things differently, but it might be out in Agent Central. If it's not, you can go out into
I think it's in Google Drive.
Yeah, the team drive. Okay, so you've seen it. I don't know, Ashley, if you've seen it, but, and if you want somebody else on there, make sure you add other people, right? I mean, you know, if you've heard great things or had great experience, get those folks on there. But at this point, you know, it's the way we came about that list is the people, our clients have said good things about these companies. Things change, right? Ashley, what questions do you have for Michelle on that process?
Wait, can you say that? It's like breaking up a little bit. What was the question?
Do you have any questions for Michelle on that process? Of what she just talked about?
I think I'm the negotiating part. Like, I don't know. Is it okay to give a client your opinion on stuff like that? Like, or is that a risky move when she asks like what you think? You know, because let's say it didn't go the way you guys wanted it to go, would they get mad at you because you walked away from a home they really wanted, and it was only like a $4,000 difference?
Well, that's, first of all, Michelle was in total rapport with her, right? And
Okay.
Lennar, not all new constructions will negotiate. Most won't. Lennar does. So keep that in perspective. And Lennar at end of quarter, which their end of quarter was the end of August, at their end of year, which is August, September, October, end of November, they will give way better deals than normal. And especially on an inventory home that they want off their books. So, you know, it's almost like with Lennar negotiating, you know, in a car dealership. And I just tell the client that any amount we can get off of list is a bonus, right?
Mm-hmm.
The question is there an appetite Do they want to pull the trigger? Do they want to get up off the table? You know, that's kind of a strategy that she and Michelle had that conversation with, to do good guy, good cop, bad cop, right?
Okay.
So
Yeah,
that's,
most builders don't, like, I've been in situations where if it's a new construction built or whatever, no, they won't negotiate at all. But we knew this was the different situation. It was Lennar. It was a spec home they had sitting there for a few months. They had already reduced the price a little bit. So we knew that, you know, and maybe, you know, we just knew that they would probably come down a little bit. I didn't think they were going to come down that much, and I knew they weren't going to come down to 425. But yeah, we were able to do that in this situation.
Okay.
and she was cash, so there's benefit with a quick close. Lennar wanted it off their books before the end of the, you know, quarter. So when you get into those situations, Ashley, you know, Michelle and I had talked about that. She knew that going in. She's dealt with Lennar on the East Coast before. You know, my take on it is when you get into that situation, we'll kind of guide you once we know what they're looking at. Again, it's a little bit different than a resale. This gal also is, as much as she is a driver that she can make fast decisions, she's very analytical. So Michelle had probably my nightmare client is the top is an analytical with the driver small behind, because the analyticals never pull the trigger. She had already decided to pull the trigger this trip, so her driver was higher, but the way she went about this, and as Michelle said, she could categorize these properties in her head and take her notes and then go back and distill them and come back. You've got an analytical when you've got that. And so you're just going to have to kind of let them take the lead, and you're going to try to guide them, as Michelle did. I think the other thing, Michelle, you did that was awesome was you had the properties lined up. She has a statement in this review about, which is perfect to use in an NLP when you use a quote. You know, one of our clients just made the comment in a review that how convenient it was, and you can, I'm paraphrasing, for us to set up all the, then for them to set up appointments on their own and or go to the open houses. That's a lot of work. Wouldn't you agree, Mr. Client? And so use this. I sent it out to everybody because it's such a great review and it is so detailed that like Jan is, or how do you pronounce your name, Michelle? Is it Jan?
Like Dan,
Yan.
Jan, okay. So yeah, read through that and kind of see what it is. You know, this is a review that everybody can use because this is the process that we do and why they appreciated it so much. And you can point them back to it. Michelle's name's all over this, you know, which Michelle's going to utilize to her advantage, but Ashley, use it to your advantage. You've gone out, you know what FaceTiming is. You know, Michelle, did you FaceTime and record or did you Zoom and record?
No, it was FaceTime because she had an Apple computer. So it was
Okay.
FaceTime. So she could record it that way.
Okay, good, because that's a new feature. You didn't used to be able to do that. So, great job, Michelle. I just, you know, it was fast, it was quick. She was boom, 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 done.
Yeah. She was ready. You gotta take advantage of those opportunities. When they're ready, they're ready.
And the fact that she told you that she wanted to see like 70 homes when she was in was a little daunting. I remember your look like, are you freaking kidding?
I was like, I think she's serious. You're like, oh yeah, she's serious. She wants to see like 50 homes.
But she got it done, and you know,
Got it done.
And by the way, Ashley, when they move here, and this is their full-time residence, like Yan is, they usually want to see a lot more homes. I showed a lady 70 homes, no joke, 70 some odd homes. They were moving from New Jersey and they wanted to replicate what they had in New Jersey. And we went from to Fort Myers to Estero, that whole area, because she wanted a 2-story house like she had in New Jersey.
Oh, wow.
it was a great learning lesson for me because I had been in community. She would give me a list of 15 properties for the next day at 9 p.m. at night.
Oh my gosh.
Nightmare to try to schedule. It was before I had this.
Oh
It's
wow.
one thing I am
Go ahead.
very grateful that once we made a decision she was coming into town and she kind of like had trust in me, she stopped sending me property. So I was able to just kind of pick what we were going to see, and it's easier that way. I think when they're sending you hundreds of properties, it's hard.
Yes, it is because you're adding to the list and trying to schedule the day around, which is crazy. The other thing that Michelle kept asking, which I think is a great thing, is she asked for her to make her the Zillow rep. And this lady, Yan, was not ready to do that at first. So then once she earned the trust, Yan said yes. Now, that's Zillow rep, when you start getting those leads, when I reassign them and then you start getting on distribution, that key to getting that is that cuts everybody else out for a year. So they can't go out and shop and get another agent.
Okay. How long does it cut them out for?
A year.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So then I then hopefully made something with, I just think, again, the steps she took got her to that rapport, got her, the video was a game changer for the client says that in the testimonial in the review.
Okay.
The video was a game changer, and getting the new construction person in on it was brilliant. And by the way, it's brilliant because if you don't know enough about the community, it's brilliant to have somebody else have those conversations. That's a benefit of new construction.
Right.
So, all right, y'all, we got to jump to the Zillow call, but great call. Ashley, thanks for joining us at Dark 30.
All right. See you guys on the next call.
You guys, all right, bye.